Just before we get into some bigger topics, what happened to Oscar's car just before free practice?
Had a wheel that was jammed on that took a little bit of time to get off, so we'll figure out why exactly that happened, but all sorted.
Going back to Oscar though, in that drive, as we're just seeing on the screen now, it's amazing actually when you watch drivers mature in front of your eyes. It seems to be happening, doesn't it? You've got a real talent on your books there.
Yeah, we always knew we did, but that was an unbelievable win. I liked how he came on the radio at the end and went, that was a bit stressful. It was like, yeah, no doubt. You should have seen what it was like watching. So, no, we've got two unbelievable drivers, as I've been saying all year. I think we've got the best combo of two drivers of youth and talent, and I think Oscar validated that for us.
Some teams don't like your rear wing. They think it's pivoting up. Red Bull particularly vociferous and trying hard to give you some trouble on that. What's the story?
It's passed every single test, so I think this is Formula One, and it's clever engineering, and FIA is fine with it, so it's business as usual.
Is it still the same deal it used to be? If you've got a little bit of a cunning plan, that you try it out with the FIA first to see, look, will you be happy with this, or do you put it on and hope?
No. They're fully aware of everything that's on our race car, and they're comfortable, so I think it's inevitable now that we're leading the championship that everyone will be looking at our car and going, not sure I like that, and that's the nature of the game.
Clever engineering, obviously. I mean, we like that in Formula One. That's what sport is all about, obviously. We often talk to yourself, we often talk to Andrea and about the drivers. What about some of the others behind the scenes? I'm talking about, let's talk about Rob Marshall, for example, who's come in. What has he done to this team? What has he helped this team with?
He's been brilliant, you know. I mean, it's a huge team, all these Formula One teams, so they're not any one individual, but certainly Rob's brought a lot of creativity, a lot of experience, a lot of championships, a lot of energy. You know, he's a great guy to work with, and you know, every time I see him at the factory, he's never in his office. He's always got something of the car in his hand. He's always got dirty hands. He's always on the factory floor with the team. So, you know, he's a bit rolls up his sleeves and gets in there with the team, which is great to see. When we were first in Australia, it was where's Rob, and he was under the car. So he likes touching these cars.
And also came from Red Bull, so brought a few ideas from over that way.
He's no dummy, and he's been around a long time, and certainly is a very clever engineer.
Now, you talked about a great driver lineup. It also means you've got two bulls in the same field. What are papaya rules, and what's your game plan now to assist your fight for Lando against Max for the rest of the championship season?
Yeah, I was actually watching something that Ron Dennis was talking about back in the MP4 era, and it was the team's job to win the Constructors' Championship and the driver's job to win the Drivers' Championship. So that's what we're doing, but anything we can now do to help Lando, we'll do that, whether that's strategically. We don't want to obviously compromise Oscar's results because he's having an awesome season and has a battle of his own. But if there's things that we can do that support Lando, that's what we'll do. We're taking it on kind of a race-by-race basis, but we've got two great drivers that are capable of winning races, and so it's a fine line. The papaya rules is, you know who your teammate is, help your teammate, race your teammate hard but cleanly, and then yeah, we're kind of one race at a time. We'll see how we get on.
All right, so what happens if they're running 1-2 and Oscar's in the lead here? Do you switch them round?
Ultimately, that'll be Andrea's call. I think handing off a race win's a pretty difficult thing to do, so you kind of have to look at the circumstances.
Really, when there's a championship at stake? I mean, a lot of people
we're going to kind of take it one race at a time. I think that's a pretty big ask of a Grand Prix driver, and I think Lando wants to win the championship if he can the right way. So I think we still have a lot of racing to go. Have to look at the circumstances, but I think if Oscar goes out and earns it, I'm not sure Lando wants to inherit a victory that way anyways.
In this crazy world of Formula One, we have 7 races to go, plus 3 sprints. Do Team Oscar think there might be a chance, the way he's going, how many points he scored in the last 7 races, that he's still a championship contender?
Mathematically, definitely. I think he's 30 or so points behind Lando. I think the gap between Lando and Max is going to require some pretty awesome weekends and maybe a little bit of bad luck here and there. But yeah, that's kind of one of the challenges is you're not looking at a a driver that's too far back from Lando. He's kind of one weekend away from kind of being on Lando's points. So that's why we got to take it one race at a time, circumstance. What are the circumstances of the situation? If it's running at the front and Max has had a DNF, so it's a big points haul, that's maybe one scenario. If Max is, we're first and second, and Max is running third, so time starts ticking, then that's another scenario. So that's why I think we'll make the call live.
Zak, I'll just keep you here for one moment. Can we just go back on the subject of the McLaren rear wing? This is what Christian Horner has had to say about this.
I mean, obviously it passed the test, so as long as the FIA are happy with it, then it has.
FIA is happy, but you are happy?
Well, it sets a precedent now for, we don't want to rush to design, wings that deform. Like that. So, look, if it's deemed okay, then everybody will do the same.
I know that maybe this kind of rear we'll see again just in Las Vegas. But is it easy to replicate a rear like this for a top team?
I'd be surprised if we saw it again.
Grazie. Grazie mille.
Thank you.
What do you make of those comments, Zak?
Well, I think he's spot on. It's been passed by the FIA, and these Formula One engineers are very clever. They've certainly had some pretty awesome race cars the last decade, and it's passed the test. So good on our team for coming up with something that is high performance.
Okay.
It's it's all about Formula One, isn't it? You try to cut down the tall sunflowers, and there's two ways of winning: slow the others down and go faster yourself. And isn't that just what we're seeing?
Yeah,
Perennial problem there.
I think it's great for the championship. We're running at the front, and so there are going to be things that are clearly working well on our race car. And to your point, everyone else is going to try and speed up and slow us down at the same time. Welcome to Formula One.
Exactly, all part of the game. Thank you, Zak. Appreciate your time. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.